Okay guys, here's an iPhone 6 that I picked up. This is a 128 gigabyte, and you can see it's next to an iPhone 5 and a 4S, so you can idea the size. So is it a worthy upgrade? Yeah, if you're ready to upgrade, or you need a larger phone, or you wanted a larger display, this is the one. This is a pretty good size. Probably pretty close to optimum size for a phone to fit nicely in your pocket and feel good in the hand, one-handed use. I originally ordered a 6 Plus 128 gigabyte, and I did get the pre-order in, but I canceled it because it was going to take too long, and I really wasn't sure because of the size of the phone. I have a Galaxy Note 3, but that's as big as I want to go on a phone to fit in your pocket. The 6 Plus is actually a larger phone. The display is smaller than the Note 3, but the phone is physically bigger, and that's probably why you've heard a few incidents of the iPhone bending. It's a tall phone. I know when I've had my Note in my pocket under really rare circumstances, you may feel it. You could feel the strain on the phone. I was even worried if the display might crack on it. There was never any damage, but the iPhone is a taller phone, and it is made of aluminum, and it's very thin. So yeah, I could see under certain circumstances you could have a problem. You just have to be kind of careful with it, and putting a case on would help also. But I think it's pretty rare to see damage to these phones. So what else about the phone? It's fast. You really don't need all that extra specs on the phone like you see on some of the other phones. It runs really quick, probably at least as quick as my Note 3. So it runs good. It's typical Apple iPhone. Nothing much different with it. They've probably improved pretty much everything, but they're small upgrades. The display looks better. It's not just larger, it looks better, it seems brighter, it just seems a little more clear, pleasing to the eye. It's fast, it's fluid. They've pretty much, like I said, improved most things on it, so it is a pretty good upgrade. I'm going to wait and see the 6 Plus in person and see if that's how that looks, but I'm pretty much decided I'm going to probably get the Galaxy Note 4, which is coming out. I do miss some things on that, such as when you take a picture. This is still an 8. The camera is good on this, but I don't find it as good as what people they're saying it's the greatest camera ever. I haven't seen it myself. It's a good camera. It's not as good as I have on the Note 3, in my opinion. And on the Note 3, you can zoom in on the pictures you take. It's a 13 megapixel camera on the Note 3. The Note 4 will have a 16 megapixel with optical stabilization and all the same things you have on the iPhone. So it should be a really good camera. As I said, the iPhone is a good camera, but if you want to zoom in, you're limited to how much you can zoom in on a photograph. So you have to consider really what you need. For example, here's a picture of my dog, but that's as far as you can zoom. With the Note, which I don't have here handy, but you can zoom in like as far as you want on that. You can zoom in till you can't see anything. So for what I need it for, it's important that I have good quality photos and stuff. But this is a really nice phone, and it's a good everyday phone. What else can I tell you? The quality, Apple does seem to be dropping the ball quite a bit as far as quality. For a company, this is really the first time they've made two completely different phones. You have had the 5S and the 5C and that, but this is the first time they've really changed the size and all that. And typically I expect more from Apple than I would from Samsung or any of the other vendors that I use, because they build very limited range of phones. You know, sometimes they've only built one phone, and you would expect after spending a whole year designing a phone, it would be pretty much perfect. You know, Samsung churns out a lot of different types of phones, as do all the other Android vendors, and that's something to consider. That, you know, that I don't feel they should be dropping the ball as much as they have. They dropped the ball with the software update. As far as the issue with the phone bending, I don't know how big of a problem that is. They said there's only nine complaints so far officially. I have seen some videos where this part of the phone had come apart on the 6 Plus. So there's maybe some other issues, I don't know. But I expected more from them. But it's a good phone, and if you're looking to upgrade and you want to stay with iOS, this is a good phone. You know, I think the smartphones have reached a point where you can pretty much go to any vendor, depending if you mind iOS or you want Android or whatever. They're all going to be pretty close. You know, some will have some extra features that one may not have, but the phones, they pretty much operate the same. You know, they're all going to be pretty smooth, and it's just a personal preference now. Apple, at one time, there wasn't anything in that league. Apple stood alone, but those days are over with now. There's too many good phones out there. Windows is making a lot of good phones. BlackBerry is really coming out with some phones, but they cater more to the business man rather than the everyday consumer. But you can see all the different phones that are coming out now. Really good stuff. So I'm pleased with the phone. Whether I'm going to use it every single day, I don't know, because I am going to look at the Note 4, and I also will check out the 6 Plus. But I'm glad they finally came out with a 128 gigabyte phone. If this phone came with a micro SD card with it, would be and a removable battery, that would be perfect. That's something I do miss. The battery life on this, by the way, is very good. I haven't done any measurements, but I've used the phone pretty heavily throughout the day, and I never ran out of juice. It's a much better than the iPhone 5 I had, even before battery issues with the 5 later on. I had some issues with a defective battery, but even when it was new, this is like way better. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.